Welcome to Tablenauts. My name is Max.
I'm Dooley.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Kenny.
And today we are talking to you about Fractured Sky Awakening, IB Studios' Fractured Sky expansion that is currently on Kickstarter. If you want to know about Fractured Sky, the base game, you can check out our video linked in the description below, or their campaign page, which we've also linked. We're here to tell you about the expansion, what all it changes, and what we appreciate about it. There are 4 expansions. Can you tell us about the first one, Doolin, starting with Payload?
Payload. So this is one where you and your buddies have to stand around this thing and push it to the next objective. Overwatch. Sorry, I'm getting confused. I'm so sorry, Max, because I forgot what Payload was. No, so Payload allows you to win these extra chips by being the first, or actually by winning locations. You can choose to take resources or the chip, and the chip is like an extra powerful. So it boosts it, and if you know anything about Fractured Sky, you can only add 3 chips that add up to 10. But this allows you to break that rule and essentially add some extra power in an area.
I think it's my favorite as well, too, because it gives you the choice of resources or chip, which is like a difficult choice, especially depending on where you're at in the game. Early in the game, you may really value those resources more.
Yeah.
Late in the game, you start pushing for those chips.
Because didn't you take 3?
Yeah, I took
last
3
round?
for the last round.
That was smart, I think.
It also just puts more resources on the map, so if 4 people are contesting the same spot, everyone's getting something.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of cool.
Next one is Bounties, which is an incredibly simple addition. It literally takes the private objectives and makes them public. So now instead of having to pay influence to view a private objective, they're just public and known to everyone. And in my opinion, I think it's a pretty darn good change, or an interesting change at least. I could see wanting to play both ways, but it really kind of flips it. Now, instead of having to find these hidden ones that are seemingly kind of random throughout the course of the course of Fractured Sky, it's like, oh, I won an objective and I didn't even know it. Now you are fighting tooth and nail for every single one of them throughout the course of the game.
I love races in games, but I also love when a game gives you something to aim for immediately. Like Anachrony, you have your little board, and it's like, I'm going to be really good in this little specific thing. This, I immediately looked at, and I was like, I'm going to go for those 2. And it was like the markets and the wood. But I like games that do that, because sometimes with games, you don't, especially your first time playing, you're like, I have no idea where to go first. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me, but this can give you some direction.
I definitely agree that it's a welcomed addition for new players to have some sort of thing to go off of. And I love hidden information, but there's so much of it in Fractured Sky that removing one wrinkle of hidden information does not kill the intrigue.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in like every game that we played that didn't have these, I never once looked at one.
So it's a real boon for you.
So yeah, it's just a net win for me, 100%.
Fair enough.
Next, we have the Flagships, which we so kindly gave them our own unique names, like Greninja 2.
And Amy Grant.
And Amy Grant. And these are essentially like you replace one of your faction ships with a flagship that you draft in reverse turn order at the start of every round. So they're constantly changing throughout the course of the game, and they give little interesting things that break the game. So, for example, one of them was any chip that is a 2 becomes a 5 when paired with this flagship. Or your skippers add +1 damage or something like that. And they just all add little tiny resources. What did you think about the flagships?
I think they were really simple to add in, and I can't remember, did it replace the receiving a gold for going?
Yes.
So that gets removed,
Correct.
Which I actually do like that. And
Me too, yeah.
it's a nice little interesting draft at the beginning of each time, and it makes going last, like choosing to go last,
A little bit better.
Like otherwise, I don't see why you wouldn't just go first, second, third, almost every single time.
Turn order is incredibly important in Fractured Sky, and that at least helps soften the blow of going last.
100%.
I think it has a nice layer of asymmetry that this game doesn't have. Like, this is a pretty, like, Fractured Sky is a really streamlined and simple game. But this has like a nice wrinkle of like you never really know what can happen, right? Kind of like the Payload. This one's like an extra layer of like, if you have that one that gives you extra power for 2s, like that can really swing the game.
And again, allows you to break that 10 power threshold, which is so key to the text of this game.
Yeah, and there's like 10 power totals too. So like if you play on the A side or the B side, there's a lot of potential powers and dynamics that could happen.
Yeah.
I really like the flagships a lot. I feel like they added a lot of interesting variety, and we played it paired with the Payload, which just the power level raised dramatically. I think on my turn, I think I might have broke the 20 threshold
Yeah.
in one location, which normally there's a limit of 10. So being able to do
Double
that,
it, yeah.
I just felt like it was so interesting and added like a whole new variety. I think like the playing with the flagships is like my favorite way to play Fractured Sky, 100%.
And then to the last addition into the game, we have Guardians, which essentially, at least in a 4-player game, there are 2 each round that go to a location, can only be moved once, and they kind of break the game. For example, we had one that said starfalls in its location are not awarded, or award an extra starfall in this location, or your building power is doubled. So there are dramatic changes to the way the game plays, and in my opinion, probably my least favorite of the 4 editions in my limited experience, just because I think it takes an already kind of zany game and makes it even more chaotic.
I think for me, it's you should choose between flagships or guardians.
Agreed, yes.
One or the other. And I think from this point forward, I'd like to play with at least one of them. It kind of adds a like bonus to whoever puts on the board first.
True.
Which is not really like a thing you really want to do unless you're trying to push for getting first.
But
in the
once
next
someone's
round.
ahead of you on that, it's like...
Yeah.
whatever.
And so, I don't know, the bonus of getting to move if you go to the location that it's at is really, really nice. And it makes me, like, I've never once thought in this game, I'm going to put a guy out immediately. But
Yeah.
now I did.
You know, like I normally play fast in this game. So the fact that it's incentivizing everyone else to play fast, I'm like, stop.
Yeah, that's my thing.
This is my territory. This is my spot. You guys hold your chips close to your chest. Let me do my thing.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
I think it's the most board gamery of like all the expansions because it's like the powers can be so like wildly powerful. So I think like if I don't know, I kind of like that swing because like there's like in this game, I back to back I just went for that.
Doubling.
Doubling
yeah, yeah.
my star power, starfall twice, and like didn't work out one time. The first time worked out. That was really nice. But I think like the game
Really nice.
opens up opportunities for you to do stuff like in this game, which I think shakes it up a bit because otherwise the Fractured Sky is pretty like even keeled game. This one really can just like create bigger moments than
Yeah.
the other expansions do. So
All right, perfect game of Fractured Sky. Kenny, in your opinion, what are you putting on the table?
I wouldn't play with all 4. I think.
Yeah.
It seems a little bit too much to me, a bit too chaotic. So I'd probably always play with like the Payload because that's just simple to bring in. I think I would lean towards playing with the Bounties each time, and then either the Guardians or the Flagships. So 3 out of the 4.
I think I'm right there, and I would just switch between the Guardians and Flagships, depending on what people were feeling.
Yeah.
But Payload and Bounties, I think I would include in every game for this.
Yeah,
this
I think we're all in agreement
Yeah.
here. Flagships would be my preference over Guardians, but I don't think you play with both of them. I think Payload, Bounties, and Flagships. I could absolutely see me using Bounties, 70% of the time, and then a few times like I'd really want to keep them private and just like go for the hidden objective. It's kind of like playing Obsession, where you play with the public or the hidden, and it just depends on how you're feeling that day. So I could see moving that one in and out. Payloads and auto include, I think, for me, and then between Flagships and Guardians.
Yeah. I can't say anything that hasn't already been said.
All right, and
do you guys have a favorite? And you can only include one from this point forward. What would you choose?
Probably flagships.
Flagships?
Yeah, 100%.
probably Payload.
Payload?
I just like the way that it breaks the 10, because the limit of 10 power is such like a core thing in Fractured Sky.
Yeah.
That being able to break that almost flips everything on its head. And it's like, wait a minute, you put that there, now you could be doing a lot of different things. So
I would choose Bounties.
Really?
I really I love the race, like legitimately, and the direction that it gives. Like those types of things I always love.
You'd think we planned this, but I would actually say Guardians.
Oh!
That's really cool.
He loves that double starfall
Yeah.
so much.
But I think that one has the biggest impact into how the game plays. So like if you're gonna add one expansion for the most impact, I think Guardians is probably the one.
that might be true. Yeah, if that's what you're looking for. If you're looking for the better game. Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Tablenauts video. Of course, make sure you check out the Kickstarter campaign linked in the description below, and let us know your thoughts on Fractured Sky and which expansion you're looking forward to the most. Until next time.
Bye.
Let's get out of here.
I didn't want to say it. I'm like, that's not our thing.
Right, nope.
That's